Hello everyone, so today I will be explaining to you on how to answer PSPM questions for session 22-23 lah. Okay, so let's look at the first question. So this one we ada two charges. Okay, so ini charge 1, ini charge 2. Okay, you can basically label it as that or it's up to you lah kamu mau label macam mana. But I'm just gonna label this as my charge 1. Wait, I don't like this red. Okay, so it's gonna be charge 1. This one is charge 2. So sekarang ni they are placed at the corner of it right angled triangle. So sekarang we have to determine the magnitude and direction of the electrostatic force acting on charge 8 microcoulomb. So that is charge 1 lah, based on what we are labeling. Okay, so this one, we have to first, for me, I would always suggest my students to extract the information lah. Apa information yang kita tahu. Okay, so sekarang ni kita tahu we need to determine the value of force. So force punya formula is K, Q1, Q2, R1, 2. So since kita cuma ada dua charge, so this is positive, this is negative charge, so they basically attracted to each other lah. So kalau kita lukis arrow pun kita tahu force ni akan point here. So if me, I'll label this as force by charge 2 on charge 1. So basically what we are looking for is this value of force. Okay, dia cuma ada satu je arrow di sini, so we just have to solve for this to find this information here, the question here, apa yang diminta lah. Okay, so sekarang ni kita tahu formula dia yang ini, so tiga ni ada, cuma kita kena decide R12 ni berapa. Okay, so R12 ni adalah distance between dua charge. Okay, dia berbeza dengan electric field. Electric field, perbezaan antara dorang dua adalah electric field always the distance from the charge to a certain point. But this one, untuk force, dia mesti distance between two charge. Okay, so macam mana kita mau cari R12 ni adalah we are gonna use Pythagoras theorem lah. Okay, sekarang ni kamu tidak boleh directly substitute tau dalam kamu punya equation. Basically, always be as detailed as you can time solve kamu punya soalan ni. Okay, so sekarang ni ini adalah the distance R12. Okay, so R12 ni kita kena carilah dia punya Pythagoras. Guna Pythagoras. So R12 is equal to so 7 square plus 10 square, 10 square plus 7 square sama je lah. Okay, yang ini kamu cari dulu distance dia, kamu akan dapat 12.21 cm. Okay, usually dorang boleh bagi kamu markah di sini. Okay, tapi depends juga lah dengan answer scheme tu. Okay, so sekarang kita sudah ada all the information, so we just have to substitute dalam this formula. So F21 is equal to K Q2 Q1 divided by R21 square. Ataupun R12, it's basically the same lah. Okay, so sekarang ni substitute. Make sure kamu substitute betul-betul sebab ada markah substitution. Remember, untuk force and electric field tidak perlu include sign. So jangan letaklah negatif tu. Nanti salah pula jawapan kamu. So dari sini just divide with the distance between the two charge yang kamu kira tadi. So kamu akan dapat electrostatic force dia di sini 24.15 Newton. Okay, so ingat kena ada unit. So sekarang ini baru magnitude. Next we have to determine direction. So sekarang ni kita sudah ada magnitude. This is basically the magnitude. Usually kita akan ada soalan dia macam yang XY component ataupun kita just tambah terus, tapi this one dia sudah bagi magnitude. So untuk magnitude ni kita kena cari angle dia. Angle dia tu adalah either you draw your angle here or you draw your angle di sini. Tapi selalunya kita mesti ambil dari it should be attached to the x-axis. So since ini adalah x-axis kita, ini charge 1, so since this is our x-axis, theta should be here. So how do we determine this value of theta is we can use again trigonometry, but Pythagoras theorem lah. Okay, so yang ini satu triangle. So if this is your theta, this is your opposite to the adjacent. Okay, either that or you can also use sine theta, which is opposite to the hypotenuse that you've calculated earlier lah. Okay, tapi usually lagi bagus bila kamu ambil the measurement that is provided, so you know it won't be wrong lah. Okay, so I'm just gonna use tangent here sebab sekarang ni ini adalah our figure. So basically this is the theta that we are looking for, and we know that this here is 10, this one here is 7, so theta is just shift tangent opposite to the adjacent, so that is 10 divided by 7, so kamu akan dapat 55 degree. So if kamu tidak lukis the figure, you should write whether it is below or above positive or negative x-axis lah. So since sekarang ni kita tahu this is on the right, so it is gonna be positive x-axis, but since it is below it, we should write below positive x-axis, below positive x-axis. Okay, so macam tu cara kita solve for Roman 1. Next one, for Roman 2, dia suruh kita cari apa? Dia suruh kita cari magnitude and direction of the electric field at point P. So sekarang ni dia minta pula kita cari electric field. Tadi kita sudah cari electrostatic force, but now we have to determine the electric field sekali dengan direction lah. So sekarang untuk yang ini, I'm just gonna draw first so we know the point is here. This is point P. So ini point P kita di sini. So sekarang ni kamu kena decide arrow dia tu. Again, saya always emphasize on drawing the arrows supaya kamu tahu whether it's gonna be negative or positive. Okay, so sekarang ni untuk positive charge, remember it should always go out of the charge. Okay, so students saya selalu cakap dia akan spread positivity. Okay, and then negative charge should be absorbing negativity. So maksudnya dia kena point towards the negative charge. Okay, so kita lukislah macam ni. Okay, so sekarang ini adalah electric field due to charge 1, electric field untuk charge 2, due to charge 2. Okay, so arrow dia macam ni. So kalau saya lukis di sini, it's gonna be something like this. And then this is E1, this is E2. Okay, the problem with student untuk yang this one, dia faham, dia betul sudah, tapi dia cakap, oh ini kita boleh tambah je terus, sebab dia cakap, dia assume ini tiada angle, but then actually this is already in the x and y component. Okay, kalau kamu tengok betul-betul ini x component, ini y component, so supposedly kamu tidak boleh tambah directly both of these values. You have to use Pythagoras theorem again. Okay, so dari sini kita kena cari apa dulu? Kita cari dulu electric field untuk charge 1. So itu formula dia, KQ1 divide by R1 square. So charge 1 kita tahu apa, cuma nilai R1 tu berapa. So nilai R1, remember untuk electric field, dia adalah distance from the charge to the point that they are asking. So that is the value of R1. So ini R1 lah. So kita dapat, so R1 is 10 cm. So sekarang yang kedua, which is for E2, it is the distance from the charge itself to the point that it is asking. So that will be 7 cm. So this one here will be our R2. So basically you just have to substitute all of this into the formula and then calculate lah. Okay, so make sure tidak ada any careless mistakes lah. So again, electric field and force should not include any negative signs. Just take the value. Okay, jangan include negative. So this one, convert pergi meter, jangan biasakan diri untuk letak sentimeter lah. Okay, just always convert into SI unit. So this one would be 7.2 times 10 to the power of 6 Newton per coulomb. And then for the second one, just do the same thing. You just have to calculate it. Don't forget to square here. 9 times 10 to the power of 9. This one would be 5 mu. Divide by centimeter. Okay, again, don't forget to square dia, and then kamu akan dapat 9.18 times 10 to the power of 6 Newton per coulomb. So after dapat the magnitude, this is not the end. You have to calculate the resultant. So resultant ni, since this one is at the x-axis, this one is at the y-axis, we have to use the formula. Okay, kamu tidak boleh add directly. So carilah apa yang x component, mana satu yang y component. Okay, so basically E2 tu will be the x-axis. So just substitute into the formula the values. Square tambah dengan, this one should be negative lah. Kenapa negative? Sebab dia pointing downwards. Okay, so square root dia. And you will get 11.67 times, wait, did I do it wrongly? Let me just check. E1, oh yeah, terbalik, sorry. So this one should be, E2 is our x-axis, so that is 9.18. E1 is negative 7.2 times 10 to the power of 6 square. Okay, so jawapan dia 11.67 darab 10 kuasa 6 Newton per coulomb. So this is the electric field at point P. But this is only the magnitude. Remember, we still have to determine dia punya direction. So this one, kita just directly use shift tangent y over x. So it will be shift tangent 7.2 to the power of 6 divided by 9.18 10 to the power of 6. So kamu akan dapat angle dia di sini 38.11 degree. Okay, since we don't have any figure, you have to tell if whether it's below positive or below negative x-axis, something like that lah, above or below, macam tu. So sekarang ni, since our y component is a negative value, meaning that is gonna be below. Okay, lepas tu sekarang ni kita punya x component is a positive value, meaning it is gonna be right. So dari situ, positive. Okay, dari situ kita boleh tulis it is below. Why is it below? Sebab y-axis kita value dia negative. Why is it positive? Sebab our x-axis is a positive value. Okay, so that's how you decide whether it's going to be below ataupun above. Okay, right, so that is all for question 1A.